Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Extreme Wednesday Chase Night to you all. Welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network as we bring you live coverage from Talladega Superspeedway. The Extreme Motorsports Xfinity Series brings you the Sparks Energy 300 for Chase Race number 1. I'm your commentator, Sean Zulu, and I am joined by my good friend and producer, Dave. Hey, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Sean?
I am doing good too, thank you. Well, Dave, tonight here we do have Chase Race number 1, the Sparks Energy 300. Well, Dave, start off by telling us a little bit about tonight's race, please.
Well, as you said, this is Chase Race number 1 here at Talladega Superspeedway. Taking a look at our weather here, conditions for tonight. We have an air temperature of 80 degrees, a track temperature of almost 106. Partly cloudy with the wind 9 mile an hour out of the northeast, so this track is going to be heating up a lot here tonight.
And with that said, these drivers have a 65% fuel limit. That is 65%. So they do have to pit at least once in order to be able to make it all the way. And just looking back at last week's race for the race before the chase, the Menards 250 at Michigan International Speedway, we had Phil Gary bring it home. 39 Zachary Kraser second, Ryan Gable third, Mike Franklin fourth, Mason Kane 5th, Rick Sebron 6th, Christopher Parkman 7th, Richard Holland 8th, Aiden Young 9th, and the 2 of Richie Evans did round up the top 10 in last week's race. There's a few incidents that occurred there. We did have John Houston and Vern Bradley make contact, which sent both drivers hard into the wall, and that did give us our first caution. A few drivers got claimed by the turn 2 wall. Exit of turn 2 is not your friend at most tracks, and some drivers did get claimed. And also, going below the black line at Michigan, some drivers did end up getting loose, which did cause the big one at one point. 49 of Nathan did get loose up front, which caused the big junk in turn 3 and turns 4. And that was caused due to that black line. The rear end just snapped around. Zachary Kraser tried to hold off Phil Gary and Mason Kane, but pit stops did separate them. And Zachary Kraser and Ryan Gable tried to take the lead away from Phil Gary, but the caution came out, which did actually end that race under caution. And the Tyler Schiff and the 59 of James Thorndike made contact, causing a chain reaction, which led to a caution, which ended the race. But going back into the standings lead, we do have the 97 of Nate Trito, no change. 15, Christopher Parkman went from 3rd place to 2nd. The 4 of Mike Rominger from 2nd place to 3rd. 32 of Mason Kane from 5th place after being tied with Rusty Farrow last week. He did bump himself up into 4th place and leaving the 75 of Rusty Farrow in 5th place. The 5 of Alan J. Elwood is still in 6th in points. This 07 of Tyler Sifford from 4th place to 7th, dropped 3 spots. 59 of James Thorndike from 7th place to 8th. The 2 of Richie Evans from 10th place to 9th. And the 14 of Vern Bradley went from 8th place to 10th place, and that will and that does round up the points. And speaking of the chase, since we are racing in the chase now, we do have 12 drivers competing in the chase. Alan J. Elwood competing in the chase. He has 3 wins. Nate Trito has 1 win. Christopher Parkman has 1 win. James Thorndike 1 win. John Hilson 1 win as well. Mike Rominger, Mason Kane, Rusty Farrow, Tyler Sifford, Richie Evans, Vern Bradley, and Mike Franklin. Well, Dave, it's going to be quite the battle because this is for the championship.
Yeah, most definitely here. We've got some fans out in the chat. We've got Ryan out there. We've got Ty out there. We got Becky Sifford out there. So these fans are in for a treat here tonight at Talladega.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. It's going to be very, very interesting to see exactly what happens. These guys are going for the points, and we do have a couple of teammates out there. They all want to win, just like we had talked about last night during the chase race. I'm on here at Talladega for the track race here, the Xfinity Series, or the Extreme Motorsports Series. Sorry about that. We did talk about how these guys will work together here, but once it's a short track, which we're going to be having here after this race at Talladega next week and the week after that, it is going to be a whole different story. Well, as we speak right now, we are currently under qualifying, and qualifying just ended. 29 of Matthew Welzenbach was able to secure the pole. The 5 of Alan J. Elwood in second place, and further down in the pack, the 00 of Nick Hunt will be the last car to put down a qualifying time. So we will give these guys a few seconds to grid up before we go down that list. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach, our pole sitter. The 5 of Alan J. Elwood starting in second place. 22, Jason Van Click, third. 15, Christopher Parkman, fourth. The 13 of Ryan Daniels, fifth. 64, Michael Knight, sixth. 87 of David Elliott, seventh. The 97 of Nate Trito, eighth. 49 of Nathan Shiflett, ninth. The 20 of Ethan Kurtz will round up the top 10. The 39 of Zachary Crazer starting 11th. 73 of Dwayne Culberson, 12th. The 05 of Tommy Amasi, 13th. 59, James Thorndike, 14th. 14, Vern Bradley, 15th. The 9 of Aiden Young, 16th. 07 of Tyler Sifford, 17th. 32, Mason Kane, 18th. 18 of Rick Donathan, 19th. And the 4 of Mike Rominger will be the rounder of the top 20. The 82 of Mike Franklin starting 21st. The 2 of Richie Evans, 22nd. 99 of Eric Kanakes, 23rd. The 7 of Gary Woobot, 24th. The 88 of John Hilston, 25th. The 31 of Dylan Akart, 26th. The 06 of Rick Seabrands, 27th. And that 00 of Nick Hunt will be the last car, once again, to put down a qualifying time in 28th. And behind him, we do have the 75 of Rusty Farrow, 29th, and the 03 of Don Kidder Jr., who will be rounding up our field tonight, starting in 30th place, as these guys are just about to start rolling as we speak.
Yeah, as the pace car starts rolling them out, these guys will do one pace lap, and we will be getting going green flag racing here at Talladega.
And as usual, Dave, we are going to be seeing a lot of great driving out there. We're going to be seeing that outside line, that third lane up there come to life here and there. And once those green flag pit stops kick in, Dave, it's going to change a lot of things.
Oh, yeah, most definitely so. It'll be interesting to see how this is going to play out here tonight, with it being the first race of the chase here in the Extreme Motorsports NASCAR Xfinity Series.
And earlier, Dave, you talked about the track temp of 106 degrees Fahrenheit. That does mean the tires will be wearing out more, but the good thing is at Talladega and Daytona, you don't really need to take tires that much. Just probably need to take at least 4 sets of tires once in order to be able to make it all the way. But, if these guys decide not to take tires, they will get very, very loose, because these things do get tail happy on the entrance to turns number 3 and turn 1 as well.
Yeah, most definitely. Another thing these drivers are going to have to watch is their water temperature, because running in that draft, pushing the car in front of you, that engine is going to get hot, so they are going to have to keep a close eye on it in order to make sure that they don't overheat and blow that engine.
Oh yeah, and once those drivers start to back off to cool those motors, we are going to be seeing a lot of cars getting bunched up because of it, because of the decreased speed in those pushers, the 22 of Van Cleek and the 15 of Christopher Parkman. As right now we are going to be going green for the first time as we speak. The pace car goes off, 29 of Wells and back, still holding pace speed. These guys getting bunched up nice and tight, trying to get a good restart to avoid causing checkups or to avoid getting caught off guard. That 22 of Jason Van Cleef keeping quite the distance as green flag flies. 29 of Wells and back puts it down to floor. The 5 of Alan Elwood on the outside. The 15 of Christopher Parkman pushing him on already. But that 29 of Wells and back will suffer by the looks of it because the 22 of Jason Van Cleef is nowhere close. And right now we do have that 13 of Ryan Daniels catching up to 22 of Jason Van Cleef and gives him life as we speak here on the entrance to turn number 2. On the exit of 2 that outside, and the 5 of Alan Elwood down to the bottom lane with the 15 of Christopher Parkman. Will they stay high or will they go low? They go down to that bottom lane, and that down gives us a new lead, the 5 of Alan J. Elwood, and leaving the 64 of Michael Knight to lead the outside of the help of the 97 of Nate Trito.
Well, Sean, that outside line is going to take a little bit of time, but that usually ends up by the end of the race here. That's usually going to be the fastest line, especially when you have at least 4 cars on there. So it'll be interesting to see as we see. It looks like a car jump up in front. That is going to be the 29 of Walzenbach. It's going to jump up in front of Michael Knight there to be the new leader of the outside line.
Yep, he jumps up, jumps back down, gets the run from the 15 of Chris Parkman, and right now gets ahead of the 64 of Michael Knight, who has no choice but to push him. And that 97 of Nate Trito trying his best. At the moment, he's just pretty much content with where he is. He's just keeping quite the, he's keeping a very good distance between him and 64 of Michael Knight, and behind him he just has an engine rolling with the 73 of Dwayne Culberson.
Yeah, these drivers just look like they're pretty content with driving here. They're not really pushing the issue too much. They are just double foul here. They do have 74 laps. They are just now completing lap 3, so they have got some time to go. So it'll be interesting how this is going to play out, as we saw the 59 get a little loose, go down, almost make contact with the 87, but is able to reel it in as the 9 of Aiden Young is just right behind him trying to push.
And for the back in the pack, Dave, we do have what seems to be a second pack being led by the 99 of Eric Canex, right now the 00 of Nick Hunt and the 88 of Wilson. Do back it down to hook up with him, and Dave, heavy damage on the 20 on the 20 machine. That is the 20 of Ethan Kurtz. That front end is very, very smashed. I'm not sure what happened to him, but that is very unfortunate.
Yeah, especially early in the race, that could definitely cause some motor malfunctions here later in the race, but looks like he's doing a good job of holding his speed here as he is just moving out in front of the pack.
And right now for the back in the pack, we are 3-1. The 06 on the outside, 00 of Nick Hunt on the inside. They do go back to double foul. The 06 is the 06 of Rick Seabrand right now getting some help from the 88. Oh, nope, he falls in line behind the 00 of Nick Hunt. And right now he'll be hooked up with the 88 of John Hilston. Right now 99 of Eric Canex and the 20 of Ethan Kurtz are just pretty much content with riding as the 88 of Hilston, 06 of Seabrands, and the 00 of Nick Hunt. Do try and hook up, but they leave the 06 of Seabrands out to dry.
Yeah, these guys probably shouldn't be battling too much. These guys need to stay single file. They are in jeopardy of losing that lead pack by a lot. So I don't know about this move, but these guys are battling it back out here for the 25th, 24th, and 23rd position.
Yeah, Dave, safe place to be. But yeah, if the caution does not end up coming out, and if they do have green flag pits off before they get in, that is going to be a bad day for them. But they most likely will up there again, keep those hammers down to the floor, and get hooked up tight to try and increase that speed to have a better chance at catching that lead pack before the green flag pit stops.
Well, Sean, going back up front, we still have the 29 of Matthew Walzenbach leading the outside line with Michael Knight all over his back bumper. We have the 5 of Alan Elwood on the bottom line with some help from the 15 of Christopher Parkman, as these guys are battling out double foul here, at least 10 cars back.
Yeah, and some great drivers here who just riding. We have the 9 of Aiden Young behind the 73 of Dwayne And behind him, we do have the 14 of Vern Bradley, and the 18 of Jonathan is in this lead pack as well. He is just pretty much riding, and these guys just, I can actually hear those engines stop roaring here and there because these guys are lifting to avoid getting into the drivers ahead of them.
We'll just going a little bit back here. We have the 07 there of Tyler Sifford. He's kind of riding back here as well. As the car in front of him gets down on the apron, there's contact made. Oh, that is going to include the 7 of Sifford. It looks like no yellow is going to come out. They're going to keep it below the yellow line and keep this up. There comes the caution.
That was very unfortunate for all drivers involved in that. Let's focus on the 88 of John Hilston on replay.
Well, as we go to our Dre broadcasting replay, we are going to focus on the 88. The 07 there of Tyler Sifford, because it seemed like it occurred right there beside him. As we're going to go to our blimp view here and take a look what happened. As we see the 06 in front of him, Sifford comes up trying to get around him, makes contact with the 87 machine, and he is going to get back out on the track slow, so he is going to be only minor damage for all the cars involved, but that is going to bring out our first caution of the night.
Yeah, very unfortunate indeed, Dave. And also, the 88 of John Hilson did spin out due to what he did get bumped as he was checking up for that wreck that happened up front. But the guys behind didn't see those brake lights, but these things don't have any brake lights, so it was very difficult for them to slow down. And that did cause him to spin out, and he does have some rear damage because of it, as right now he is still on the track, most likely going to be going down pit road to get some service.
Well, as we are focusing on our leader of Elwood, looks like he is going to come down pit road. Walzelback is going to come back down with him as these guys start making their way down on pit road. But it does look like the 15 of Christopher Parkman is going to stay out. He is not going to pit. So he must be playing some kind of pit strategy here and getting that bonus point for leading a lap as well.
Oh, we just might have some trouble on period 14. If Vern Bradley is sideways, we have some contact. Yes, damage with the 39 of Zachary Crazar. It's going to cost him a little bit of time, but that 14 of Bradley does get the worst end of that deal. Still has a rear end dent in that left side of his. That most likely, well, won't affect him too much since the front is clean. Well, not really. The left front of his is kind of dented as well, so he will try his best to stay in the draft to counter it. Yeah, Dave, that's the thing about pit road, man. It's very, very dangerous. It's not the safest place to be because there's so much confusion. Drivers trying to get in and out as quickly as they can for position.
Yeah, most definitely. Here is looking on the screen. We got Alan Elwood with a 4.12 pit stop. So it looks like he just took fuel only, while Walzenbach and Culverson behind him both took 2 tires and fuel.
Yep, taking fuel only. These guys, they only had about 7 laps green on their tires, so it shouldn't affect him too much, if any. And he still will be able to maintain the pace before that thing starts getting loose. But he most likely will be good enough to go until the round of green flag pit stops, because they still have to pit in before this thing is over. And if we do not go 1 to green this time, we are going to be interviewing one of the drivers out there. And Dave, so far monitoring the field, and looks like the heaviest mover we've had, well, we have 3. We have the 73 of Dwayne Culberson, who started in 12th place and is currently in 4th. The 14 of Bradley starting 15th and is now in 5th. And also the 07 of Tyler Sifford starting 17th, currently 8th. Oop, the lights on the pace car are still on, so we are, that does give us some time for an interview. So we are going to interview Chris Parkman. Unfortunately, I was not able to get a hold of the 15 of Chris Parkman, but we have the second driver right behind him, the 5 of Alan J. Elwood. Get a cup there, bud?
Yeah, I got you.
How you doing tonight, buddy?
Not too bad. How's it going?
Thank you. Going good as well. Well, Alan, you have been an amazing driver throughout the entire season, buddy. You've had 3 wins, having the most wins out of everybody this whole entire season. And last week at Michigan International, you were able to lock yourselves into the chase. What's on your mind, buddy?
Yeah, tonight's just survival. These super speedway races, you guys know, are tough. You got to just position yourself in the right place and hope that luck plays on your side. So just kind of trying to stay toward the front here and keep myself out of trouble, and we'll see where we're at in the end.
Oh, 10-4 Parkman, 10-4 Alan, sorry about that, nicely said. And Alan, we did notice on your last pit stop you took gas only without any tires with a 2.8 second pit stop. And by the way, the track's feeling, Alan, basically how's the track feeling, buddy? Because that track temp is not the prettiest.
Yeah, I'm testing it out now to see what it's going to be like. Maybe toward the end of the race we might get in that situation. So seeing what it's going to be like at this point in the race is better than later. And I didn't think we had too many laps on our tires to really affect it. So I figured gas is just a pretty good option right now.
Oh, copy that, Alan. And Alan, this is a draft track, Talladega Super Speedway. So is there anybody working with, anybody we should expect to see you bring it home with?
Well, I'm hoping that toward the end of the race, me and my teammates down here in Alliance will be together and hopefully can push one of us to victory. So that's what we're just trying to plan on. But you know, super speedway it's every man for himself when you get down to about 10 to go. So we'll see where we're at. You know, and like I said, just survive and be there.
Oh, copy that, Alan. That is very, very nicely said, buddy. And with that said, we are going to let you get back to the driver's seat. You are back to 1 to green. So good luck to you and your teammates, brother. And hopefully we'll see you in victory lane.
10-4. Appreciate it, guys.
Well, Sean, as these guys are now coming out of the backstretch into turn 3 and 4, we are being led by the 15 of Christopher Parkman with Matthew Walzenbach behind him. Alan Elwood is leading the outside with Dwayne Culverson behind him. We got Nate Trito, Nathan Shiflett, Jason Van Cleek, Aiden Young, Mason Kane. We got a bunch of good drivers behind him. So let's take a look here, see how this restart is going to be as these guys are now coming out of turn number 4, just waiting on that pace car to dip down into pit road. As the pace car is now approaching the entrance to pit road, these drivers tighten it up. Pace car dips down into pit road. Looks like Parkman is going to keep them at pace speed as they come through the tri-oval here, as they are getting ready to go back green flag racing. The green flag flies. Off goes Parkman. Looks like the 29 of Matthew Walzenbach was sleeping, but here comes the 5 of Alan Elwood as he is going to drop down. Well, no, they're going to go 3 wide here into turn number 1. Nope, the 73 is going to drop back down right behind Walzenbach, but here comes Nathan Shiflett and Nate Trito to the assistance of Alan Elwood there on the bottom lane.
And that 73 of Dwayne does choose to drop in behind the 97 of, behind the 49 of Shiflett, in between the 49 and the 97 of Trito, as the 5 of Alan Elwood jumps in front of the 15, who goes sideways in turn number 3, goes sideways on the track as they wreck, entering turn 3. Oh, big wreck. They still continue piling in there. On replay, let's go back and focus on the 15 of Chris Parkman.
Well, as we pull up our Dre Broadcasting instant replay here, we are once again going to go to our Goodyear blimp, focusing on the 15 of Parkman. As they are coming in, it looks like the 49 was pushing him, just got him spun around, and that caused a chain reaction behind him.
Yeah, that was unfortunate right there. The 49 of Nathan Shiflett tried his best to lift, because the 15 of Chris Parkman was catching the 5 of Alan Elwood to hook up with him. And when Chris checked up, 49 didn't see it coming, couldn't slow down in time, and that did cause the chain reaction. But going back up front, we have some drivers smoking heavily with some 97 Nathan Trito. Nate Trito, heavy damage. The 07 of Sifford. We have the 73 of Dwayne Culberson, who was smoking heavily but has now blown his motor. Going back up front, we still have the 5 Alan Airwood in the lead with the 64 Michael Knight being shown in second place. 32 Mason Kane, new to the top 5, new to the top 3, starting in 18th place and now being in 3rd place, gaining 15 spots this far. And Dave, something tells me majority of the field is not going to pit in.
It'll be interesting to see here, as we've already got some going down onto pit road here. Looks like Dwayne Culberson's down on pit road, Jason Van Cleek, and a bunch of others. So looks like pit strategy is playing in here, as we are on lap 13 of 74. So we have got some time to go here tonight.
Yeah, as right now we only had, I said majority of the field would stay out, but nope, I was wrong. We only had 7 drivers of the 30 car field stay out. So basically 21 drivers went down pit road. Well, that's some bad math right there. 23 drivers went down pit road and 7 decided to stay out. As right now the 99 of Eric Canex will be in 4th place of starting in 23rd. 06 of Rick Seabrand's 5th place of starting in 27th place. Well, that does give us some time for a race interview. Let's focus on the 64 of Michael Knight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 64 of Michael Knight up here. That's got a copy there, Mike.
Yeah, I got a copy here.
How you tonight, buddy?
Doing good. Trying to keep it clean here.
Oh, I hear you on that. Well, Mike, you have been doing an amazing job. You have been doing an amazing job throughout the entire season, and so far doing good. Starting qualified in 6th position with a 53.344, and now competing behind the 5 of Alan J. Elwood. Well, Mike, what's your strategy for tonight's race, buddy?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep it up front all night here and keep my nose clean here.
Oh, 10-4, Mike. And if we do have green flag pit stops, Michael, what do you think is the best strategy to do? Are you going to maybe pit in with the whole pack, or maybe just pit, basically short pits, or run your tank dry?
Yeah, I'm gonna find a couple guys here, see if I can work with them. I'd like the short pit, but, you know, it just depends on what the other guys do here.
Oh, 10-4, Mike. That is nicely said. And, Mike, how's the track feeling out there? Because I would imagine it's very tail-happy with 108-degree Fahrenheit track temp.
It is, and that high line, if you try to come in on the high line, you will get loose on it, so you definitely have to watch it there.
Well, Mike, with that, we are going to let you get back to driver's seat. You are currently in 2nd place once again. We wish you the best of luck. Keep doing exactly what you're doing. Keep the hammer down at the floor. Keep all your wheels down on the ground, on the race surface, and see you in victory lane.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the broadcast.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a 64 of Michael Knight, currently in 2nd place behind the 5 of Alan Elwood. And behind him, we do have the 32 of Mason Kane. And also just looking on pit road right now, we have one driver being shown a lap down. That was a 73 of Dwayne Culberson, who did end up blowing his motor, had the worst end of that deal under that big wreck that we just had. And he's still down pit road getting some service. And Dave, right now looking into the field, we do have quite a few drivers who do have damage. You know, these guys do have one backup car. If that damage is not bad enough to use your backup car, then these guys will not do that. That's exactly what the 88 of John Houston is doing. He just let his pit crew beat that thing out enough for it to still be able to keep up with the draft. He's still going strong.
Yeah, most definitely, as these drivers are putting on a real good show here so far. We have had a couple of cautions, but it's plate track racing. It's expected. It's fast speeds, especially with these Xfinity cars, and it don't take much to get them spun around.
Oh no, it does not. And as you were speaking right here, the 73 of Dwayne Culberson does exit pit road ahead of the pace car. He's currently being shown a lap down. The good thing is, Dave, he will be eligible for the lucky dog once if we do have another caution. So that is a very good thing on his part if he keeps his nose clean.
Oh, that's definitely a possibility. I mean, this race isn't over. It's not over till it's over. So, I mean, anything could happen with these guys as these guys are getting ready to go double foul here. We are getting back ready to go back green flag racing as the lights on the pace car are off.
And this lineup is a little bit different. We have the 5 of Alan Elwood leading the bottom lane with the help of the 32 of Mason Kane, 64 of Michael Knight leading the outside with the help of the 99 of Eric Canex. And man, those 3 drivers, 32 Mason Kane, 99 Eric Canex, and the 06 of Rick Seabrands, these guys have come a long way. Ever since the race has begun, they have come from below the top, or below the 20th place. Well, basically 32 Mason Kane started 18th, and then Eric Canex 23rd, and 06 of Seabrands 27th. So these guys have moved up a lot of spots and have some spots to get around that leader, the 64 of Michael Knight and the 5 of Alan Elwood, as we do exit pit turn number 4 to go green again, this time by. The pace car is off. The 5 of Elwood does still hold pace speed. These guys getting bunched up nice. 32 Mason Kane catching up to his back bumper. 99 of Eric Canex still holding pace speed. That 5 of Alan Elwood does jump the start, catches everybody off guard. 32 Mason Kane trying to catch up to him. 64 Michael Knight costing quite a bit, lots of positions. 32 of Mason Kane already, but it's for the bottom lane. Most likely will fall in line, and yes, he does. Looking further back behind him, we have a battle between the 06 of Seabrands and the 99 of Eric Canex for that 4th place position. But the 06 of Seabrands, that's cleared. And that start right there, Dave, did spread out the field and most likely will make the 5 Elwood sitting back, as right now there's 32 of Kane, 64 of Knight, 06 of Seabrands, 99 Canex just leaving him out to dry on that bottom lane. But that 22 of Jason Banks to the rescue, the 5 of Elwood, to try and give him some life, some assistance, to try and avoid, to try and help him avoid losing more spots than he already has. As right now that speed does start to increase as they try and get past 64 of Knight and the 32 of Kane.
Well, looky there, Sean. Look who we have running in that front pack and currently in 5th position. That's going to be the 18 of Rick Donathan himself, as he is going to be the 3rd car on that inside lane there, as he is running door to door right now with the 64 of Michael Knight. He is given a good push there to that looks like the 22 of Jason Van Cleek and Alan Elwood, as he has just made his appearance here into the top 5.
Yeah, as right now we do see him just pretty much keep a gap in between him and the 22 of Jason Van Cleek, as right now the outside, Dave, is not the place to be. It hasn't yet formed, as the 32 of Kane and the 64 of Knight are struggling to maintain it or to make it work, because they do not have enough cars to make it work, as right now they are going from front to back in a hurry. We have 06 of Seabrands riding behind the 18 of Johnson, the 99 of Eric Canex on his tail.
Yeah, most definitely here to see if anybody is going to jump up there and give them a hand, as it looks like a lot of cars are just content on riding on that bottom line here. As we're going to go a little further back here, we're going to take a look back at the 7 of Gary Wolbert running back in 10th position, as he's got the 39 of Zachary Creaser behind him. So these guys are looking, but look, here comes some help on that outside, as the 82, the 14, and the 39 all jump into that outside lane. So we are going to start having some battles up front here, as that second lane is definitely making a work for it.
And the good thing about this game, the good thing about the outside line with 32 of Mason Kane, that 64 of Michael Knight had not been pushing. He wasn't able to hook up with him, but now they are hooked up. But that 22 of Van Cleek was pushing for a long time, so he most likely is overheating, as the 64 of Mason of Michael Knight is not overheating, so he most likely will be able to clear that bottom lane here in no time. But nope, that 22 Jason Van Cleek putting on a hard fight. The 32 Mason Kane goes up the track to avoid making contact, and that does still help him maintain that slight nosebleed over the 5 of Elwood.
Yeah, most definitely. Going a little further back here, we're going to go back here and take a look at the 4 of Mike Rominger, as he is running back here in the second pack, as they are double foul, as they've got the 00 of Hunt and the 88 of John Houston there on the inside. These guys are just within striking distance of that front pack, but far back enough, if something happened, they might be able to avoid it.
Yep, and right now they have caught up to that lead pack. They were catching up to them in a hurry. That 87 of David Elliott does back off the back bumper of the 4 of Mike Rominger, who in turn did back off the 2 of Richie Evans. They have a 59 of James Thorndike, 4th place in line, as right now they are catching up to a lot of traffic up front, or a lot of traffic that's trying to spread themselves out, separate themselves from the lead pack.
Yeah, most definitely here is they are getting spread out a little bit, but they are still, as I said, within striking length. And then going a little further back here, taking a look at the 13 of Ryan Daniels. He's got a little pack with him. He's got Walzenbach, Nate Trito. He's got Tyler Sifford there. He's got the 20 machine. So they are just running single file here, just content on riding. Not really wanting to get up there in case there's an incident, but just kind of hanging back here and just kind of riding.
Yeah, but speaking of 13 of Ryan Daniels, it does seem as though they are in the draft of the pack that has the 88 of John Hilton in the tail end with the 00 of Nick Hunt in it. So if they did want to, they will just put their hammers down to the floor and use that draft to suck up to them in turn. At the same time, they would suck up to that lead pack after they catch the pack of the 00 of Hunt in the 88 of John Hilton. But going back up around the 5 of Alan Elwood does lose the lead to the 32 of Mason Kane with the 64 of Michael Knight still pushing. He tries to take it 3 wide on him. Nope, he goes back in line.
This is some good pack racing here. I wish they kind of had the old aero package there, Sean, where these cars would hook up and they would be gone. But with these new aero packages that they're running here in the Xfinity cars, it's real hard to get up on that bumper and stay on there to push these cars. So, but these guys are definitely doing a good job here. Just looking at some of their speeds, you know, they're hitting an excess of 190 mile an hour coming into the turn.
Oh, absolutely. That does encourage a lot of pack racing. That does encourage and cause a lot of pack racing. As just like you said, it's very difficult to push. I mean, it's very difficult to stay hooked up all the way around. And right now, that 64 of Michael Knight does seem to be overheating for pushing for way too long. And so does the 22 of Jason Van Click. And Dave, let's ride with 64 of Knight so we can watch what it takes to be a good pusher. You can see right there, he does peek his nose out, gets a bump from the 39 of Zachary Crazer as he's trying his best to cool that motor to maybe get a slingshot past the 22 of Van Click and the 5 of Alan Elwood. But Dave, that's when you know Jason Van Click is a very, very good pusher, making it hard for the outside line to make the pass around the 5 of Alan Elwood. Right now, the 06 of Seabrands, the 99 of Eric Connects. These guys very bunched up. And the more bunched up they are, the more speed they get. And that's exactly what they've been doing.
Yeah, as we're riding here up on the roof cam of Michael Knight, just kind of looking behind him, seeing all these cars in line. I tell you what, Sean, it's a wonderful sight watching these guys at 195 plus mile an hour coming into these turns bumper to bumper and just seeing a whole line of cars. It is just a wonderful sight to see.
It most definitely is, Dave. And Dave, right now, the 64 of Michael Knight and the 22 of Jason Van Click. These two drivers do have the biggest weight on their shoulders, Dave, because they are the drivers who are responsible for controlling the pace of the whole entire field, or the pace of everybody else who are in the lead pack. Because the more they push, the more speed, or the more they push, that determines. Basically, how they push determines the pace of that field. So the weight is on them when they do start overheating. That does cause some chain reactions behind.
Well, we are going to go back here and find the 13 of Ryan Daniels that was leading that other pack here. We're going to go back here and take a look. It's now being led by the 97 of Nate Trito. Currently in 20th position. They are just single file here. Got a couple cars in the back trying to go double file, but they just don't have the speed as these guys are actually gaining on that lead pack. They're almost into that draft, so it'll be interesting to see how this is going to play out, what they're going to do, as we are just now completed lap 26 of 74.
And Dave, not sure what happened, but the 14 Vern Bradley, heavy damage on the machine. Oh, nope, he got his backup car. He's on pit road as we speak. And he is being shown a lap down, but he does have a brand new car. Just got that out of the hauler. As a few seconds ago, that thing was beat up. Not sure what happened to him, but right now, all that matters is that he does have a brand new car. He will be competitive and stay in it to win it.
Well, he's still got a battle because it's only him and the 73 of Dwayne Culberson that's one lap down. So these guys are going to be battling it out here, trying to get that lucky dog. Right now, the lucky dog is being held by the 73 of Dane Culberson, who is running in this pack here with Nate Trito, Tyler Sifford, and Hunt and Houston and all them. So right now he is in a good spot to be able to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, he definitely is. He is in the draft compared to the 14 of Bradley, who is not in the draft and most likely will be getting lapped here shortly because that lead pack is pushing about 198 miles an hour plus, actually 200 plus miles an hour entering turns number 3 compared to the 9. Oh, we have a big wreck in turn 3 as these guys do get piled up. It's going to involve the 18 of Rick Jonathan as they do keep piling up into it. Oh, man, let's go back and take a look at that. And let's focus on the 59 of James Thorndike.
Well, as we go to our Dre broadcasting instant replay here, as you said, we are going to focus on the 59 of James Thorndike here, as they are running close up front here, as he was running right behind the 18 of Rick Donington. He gets down a little low, hooks him, and that just causes a huge train reaction here behind him. As we see, looks like Tyler Sifford got through there. Oh, 73 of Colton gets in. Nate Trito does get around it, but there is a lot of smoking cars out there. Heavy damage.
Heavy damage indeed, Dave. And right now we do have a barbecue going all the way from the front stretch in 2 turns, number 1 and 2. We do have 59 James Thorndike, heavy smoke. 18 Rick Jonathan. These guys, and the 20 of Ethan Kurtz. These guys crawling with their fingers crossed just so they could be able to make it down to pit road, Dave, if they don't blow up, because these things do blow up if they smoke for too long.
Oh, most definitely is. That is going to be disastrous for some of our chase drivers, and that is just going to shake his build up way tonight. So that is just going to put a dimper on a lot of people's race.
And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take our first commercial break of tonight's race so you guys can get some more popcorn and refreshments. We'll be right back, so stay tuned.
Drivers, start your reading. Motor Sim Racing Magazine is the first and only magazine dedicated to sim racing. Every month we'll be covering the hot topics around the world of sim racing. So if you're looking to be in the know, go to www.motorsimsracing.com. You will find articles from your favorite drivers, leagues, and other prominent people in the sim racing community. Want an update of your favorite league? We got it. Want to learn the basics on finding a perfect league for you? We got it. Want to know more about how leagues are run? We got it. So remember, when you want to know what's going on in the sim racing world, go to www.motorsimracing.com.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Spark Energy 300 for Chase Race number 1, part of the Extreme Motorsports Xfinity Series. As right now, we do still have the 5 Alan Elwood in the lead, 39 Zachary Crazer second place, 22 Jason Van Click third, 32 Mason Kane fourth, and 64 of Michael Knight running up the top 5 in 5th place. And Dave, everybody at this point has gone down pit road, and they are now on the exact same pit strategy. And last time we had checked, we did have the 73 of Dwayne Carberson eligible for the Lucky Dog, but looks like he did get involved in the incident that brought out the caution, and right now he is on pit road getting some damage fixed. Oh man, Dave, I just remembered that 73 of Dwayne was involved in one of the other incidents. That's why he went a lap down, because he did end up blowing his motor, and that he ended up using his backup car. So he most likely will be down for the night.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He's a great driver, but we still have a lot of good drivers here. We are still being led by the 5 of Alan Elwood. But so far tonight, we've had 10 lead changes, but I have a feeling, Sean, that number's going to shoot through the roof here shortly.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. Once these guys, these guys do have new tires now, so they will push these things to the limit even more than they did before, trying to, these guys will try and at least lead a lap. At least most guys' goals is to lead a lap, so they most likely will be seeing that number go up. Like you have pointed out, as right now we are now 1 to green with the 5 of Alan Elwood in the lead, the 22 of Jason Vantage right behind him, 39 of Zachary Crazer leading the outside of the help of the 32 of Mason Kane. And further back in the pack, we do have the 99 of Eric Koenig side by side of the 49 of Nathan Shiflett, who does seem to have a lot of damage on the front end. Just looks like it's a scratch from a bad push or a bad bump. Also does the 13 of Daniels on the front end.
Now, Sean, taking a look here, it looks like the 18 of Rick Donathan is still down on pit road. Also, the 73 of Dwayne Culberson. So they are just going to continue to lose laps here, but they are down on pit road trying to get that damage repaired and trying to get back out there.
Yeah, speaking of Rick Donathan, he has had quite the rough season, getting involved in almost every single incident that occurs around him. That's very unfortunate for him, but we do look forward to seeing him for the next Chase Race number 2 next week at Texas Motor Speedway if he doesn't come out tonight. As right now they do exit turn for the pace car goes off. The 5 of Elwood still holding pace between 2. Jason Van Click trying to catch up to him. The 32 Mason Kane as well trying to catch up to 39 of Zachary Crazer. The 5 of Alan Elwood puts it down, jumps to start. The 39 of Crazer caught sleeping, but the 32 of Mason Kane to rescue to give him some life. 22 Jason Van Click caught sleeping a lot and trying his best to play catch up. Right behind him, we do have the 06 of Rick Seabrands charging on the outside behind the 32 of Mason Kane.
Yeah, this field is starting to shake out a little bit here. We got a lot of guys running that bottom, just choosing to run single file here. We are just about halfway here. We're just a little bit more. So it'll be interesting to see how this is going to turn out.
Oh, absolutely. The race is still young. Anything can happen. It's not over until it's over, like we always say. As right now, the 32 of Kane charging on the outside with the help of the 06 of Rick Seabrands. And right now, it is a fair race among these drivers. The 06 of Seabrands, 32 Mason Kane, 39 Zachary Crazer, the 5 of Alan Elwood. It is 2 cars on the bottom, 2 cars on the outside, but the 22 of Jason Van Click does seem to be catching up. So the outside or the bottom lane will be getting bunched up here shortly. And Dave, that start did spread out the field. We do have a lot of different packs forming For the back in the pack of the 9 of Aiden Young, so far lagging back behind the draft of that lead pack. He does have the 49 of Nathan Shiflett, catching him at a very, very slow pace because they are quite a gap apart. So the draft is very, very weak between them. And behind Shiflett, we do have the 29 of Welsenbach with the 97 of Trito and the 07 of Sifford.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to catch up to Nathan there. Give him a little bump, make us a 4-car pack here, as they are just on the outside of that draft of the lead pack. So they are in good position. I don't think there's anything to worry about right now.
And there we have some more drivers lagging back in the back. Looks like almost forming a third pack or fourth pack. A son of David Elliott so far being left out with no help whatsoever. He does have some damage, which most likely would be the reason why, but he does have the 20 of Ethan Kurtz catching up to him. Ethan Kurtz will slow down and hook up with him. Oh, but look at that, Dave. We have some more drivers behind them. We have the 4 of Mike Romming with the 2 of Richie Evans in line. We have the 14 of Vern Bradley. And they, in turn, are being caught by the 13 of Ryan Daniels, 00 of Nick Hunt, 59 of James Thorndike, and the 88 of John Hilson. And actually, we have more drivers in that line. 31 of Dylan Acard and the 75 of Rusty Farrow. So, Dave, we can safely say, or it's safe to say, we have 5 packs out there.
Yeah, most definitely. So these guys are battling it up, as it looks like Ryan Daniels there moved to the outside, just kind of falling back a little bit, riding there. Is some reason he didn't drop down to try to catch that draft. Is he is just continuing to run that third lane out on the outside there.
Yeah, and when he did that, when he moved to the outside, he did lose a lot of speed because good as Ryan now, he is now just getting up to speed. He's pushing about 179, 180 miles an hour, which is, I believe, the max speed that you push when you are out of the draft. And he does seem to have some scratches on that front end of that Ford, actually that Chevy Camaro. But going back up front, the 15 of Chris Parkman is now being shown as our new race leader. The 32, Mason Kane, did play the bottom lane, but that 64 is leaving the outside, and that is the 64 of Michael Knight, and excuse me, 32 of Mason Kane. He's the leader with 64 of Michael Knight, challenging with the help of 15 of Chris Parkman.
Yeah, most definitely here. This lead pack is just running double foul here. We saw Chris Parkman involved in an earlier incident, but here he is back up front, definitely trying to make a stint. Here comes the 9 of Aiden Young also. Looking up front, we got Jason Van Cleek, Eric Kincakes, Mike Franklin, Gary Wolbert. We've got some good names up here, so I don't think Mason Kane is just going to feel real comfortable right now. He did say last night he was hoping to put on a good show and come away with the win, but I don't know. He's going to have to battle it out. There's some stiff competition behind him.
Oh, absolutely. These guys will not pull over to let him go by. He will have to earn. It's going to be a very, very stiff battle. Oh, we have the 15 gets hooked, goes sideways, and that will bring up the caution. Oh, and that does involve a lot of other drivers through that chain effect. Looks like the 07 of Sifford was involved, the 7 of Gary Woolbot, the 97 of Nate Toe, the 49 of Ship. Let's focus on the 15 of Parkman on replay.
Well, Sean, as we go back to our Dre Broadcasting replay, we're going to go back to our blimp view here to get a good wide shot of what happened. Looks like Aiden Young may have just clipped the 15 of Parkman. Oh, that is going to be disastrous, as he was involved in an earlier incident. That car is smoking heavily, so that is going to be, I don't think he's going to be able, he's going to have to go down and definitely get a lot of damage fixed.
Yeah, and also ahead of him, we do have one more driver smoking heavy. That is the 05 of Tommy Amasi, another amazing driver in this series. But he's had a rough night tonight. We haven't spoken much of him, as right now he does go down pit road. Let's just hope these drivers do have backup, because like you said, the 15 of Parkman was involved in an early incident, but I don't believe the 05 of Tommy Amasi was. So Tommy just might have his backup car still. Yes, Dave, the 05 Tommy Amasi, brand new car, right side goes up. He will take some tires with a full tank of gas, and off pit road he goes. But going back up from 32, Mason Kane will lead them down pit road, being followed by the 64 of Michael Knight, and looks like the whole entire field will follow, but we have one driver staying out, most likely to lead a lap. That does look like the 87 of David Elliott. Yes, it is. 87 of David Elliott will be the new race leader here, right behind the pace car.
Well, it looks like the 5 of Alan Elwood is going to be the first one off pit road. Here comes Walzenbach. He is going to be the second, followed by Mason Kane. Then it looks like Rick Seabrands and Michael Knight is going to finish your top 5, but there's also Nate Trito and Tyler Sifford as well.
And unfortunately, we have one driver retiring for the night. That was the 49 of Nathan Shipley, but we do look forward to seeing him next week for the O'Reilly Auto Parts 300 at Texas Motor Speedway. And that does give us some time for an interview. We are going to focus on the 87 of David Elliott. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 87 of David Elliott up here. Let's get it up there, David.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad.
Well, David, you have been putting on an amazing showing tonight's race, and man, your car has looked better. It has seen better days. It does seem to be dinged up here and there, but how's it doing overall, buddy?
This 87 Chevrolet is going pretty good. Got a little damage, just trying to see if we can get it repaired and hold off here and see if it'll be alright.
Oh, 10-4, David. And David, how's the handling doing? Do you think it's handling pretty well, or could it be improved?
It's pretty good. It gets a little snappy loose when you're in the corner a little bit, but it's not too bad.
Oh, copy that, David. Well, David, just wanted to check in with you. We just hope your car is going to be doing well in the draft. It does still look good. You know, it might be dinged up here and there, but Rubbing is racing. And, you know, it's been to the racetrack, so at least you can say that. And with your driving skills, buddy, you will be able to maintain that lead and lead a lot more laps to come. So good luck to you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 87 of David Elliott, currently in first place of starting in 7th place, and he does have the 5 Elwood behind him, the 29 Matthew Wells in back third, the 32 Mason Kane fourth, and the 06 of Rick Seabrands in 5th.
Going a little further back here, Sean, in 6th, we got Michael Knight. We got Franklin running 7th, Trito 8th, Sifford 9th, and Cancake's rounding out your top 10. So looks like Tyler Sifford and Nate Trito, who started towards the back of the field there, getting involved in a couple of incidents, but they have made their way up into the top 10.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't take long for these guys to go from the back to the front. You know, we do the more laps these guys put down, the more lead changes we have, and the more position change at the exact same time. So we will be seeing a lot of guys going from the back to the front in no time, and those guys who are up front do end up getting shuffled out to the back to occupy or to make some room for those guys who are coming from the back. As right now, Dave, we have we're showing the 4 of Mike Rominger a lap down. He is down pit road, and that engine is not running, and it does seem to have some damage, so he is getting some service as we speak. Also looking for the back in the pack, we do have we also have the 75 of Rusty Farrow, who as well is competing here in the chase. He does go down pit road this time by. That left front end is dinged up quite a bit, and so is the right front or the right side of that hood. They're still going strong.
Yeah, these guys here at ExtremeMotorsports99.com definitely do not give up. As we've seen night in, night out, these guys keep pushing until their car absolutely will not go. These guys do not want to take these cars behind the wall. They want to get that finish at least. So, I mean, these guys are real good about that, trying to get these cars to go as long as they humanly can.
Oh, absolutely, and that is exactly what 87 of David Elliott is staying up front. Is like, hey, car, you might be damaged, but hell, all the speed out of you, and you will be able to maintain and lead all these laps with the help of the 29 of Welzenbach and the 06 of Rick Seabrands on the bottom lane. That 5 of Elwood, the 32 Mason Kane, and also 64 Michael Knight. These drivers are very hungry for the lead, Dave.
Yeah, they definitely want to get this win, get the win in the first chase here, get off to a good start as the pace car is now bringing them into turn number 3. But as I was saying, these guys want that momentum going into the next race next week. They want to carry the points lead. They just want to win, basically, is what they want to do. Is the pace car now brings them into turn number 4 here. These guys are bunched up. We are being led by the 87 of David Elliott on the inside with Mason Kane lined up right behind him. And then we have Ellen Elwood and Matthew Walzenbach lined up. Actually, Walzenbach is right behind Elliott. Kane is right behind Elwood as they are now coming out of 4. The pace car gets ready to make that hard left. He cuts that wheel onto pit road. Looks like Elliott is going to keep him at pace speed here as they are lining up. As they come into the tri-oval. The green flag flies. Off goes David Elliott. He gets a good jump. But it looks like Alan Elwood and Mason Kane are hooked up as they are going to get in front. But for some reason, David Elliott gets down on that apron and stays down there and is just letting these guys go by.
When they do get around him, as right now he does try his best to get up to speed, Dave. Maybe that damage is affecting him, or maybe he was afraid the damage was going to cause a chain reaction behind him and decided to pull off. But right now he does get back onto the racing surface, and he does have some traffic coming up behind, so he's lucky enough, Dave, just to be picked up.
Yes, he's definitely lost that number 2 there. He's going to jump down in front of him, Richie Evans, so that is going to help him with the draft here, but it actually kind of looks like he might be losing that draft. No, he is going to get that draft. He is going to catch up to that 2 of Richie Evans and get back on the tail end of this lead pack.
Man, Dave, that is a very, very strong machine right there. That 87 Chevy Camaro looking dinged up here and there. You would have thought it would be affected by that damage, but nope, it is still competing and staying in the draft with the 2 of Richie Evans and getting some assistance here shortly from the 13 of Ryan Daniels, who does seem to be catching up to him. So the 87 of David is not a driver to get rid of just yet, but going back up front, we are still battling for the race between the 5 of Elwood and the 32 of Mason Kane.
Yeah, most definitely that outside line's kind of stalling a little bit, but here comes the 20 machine of Ethan Kurtz as he is looking to give them a hand. No, is he going to go 3 wide? Nope. He is going to stay in line there, give some help to Mike Franklin there, try to get back up and try to push Mason Kane here up to the lead on the outside. As we see Walzenbach, Knight, Trito, Sifford, and a bunch of other cars, the 22 of Van Cleet, all running on that single file on that bottom lane.
Going further back in the pack, the 2 of Richie Evans and the 87 of David Elliott. These guys have caught up to that lead pack. The 87 of Elliott does left to avoid getting to the back of the 2 of Richie Evans. But right now we do have, unfortunately, one driver retiring, the 79 of Dwayne Carberson.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it looks like now Mason Kane has no help on that outside, as there is a huge gap between Seabrands and Franklin there, so they have no help on that outside. They have no choice but to use that side draft to try to slow that bottom lane down to be able to compete until somebody jumps up there and gives them a hand, as it looks like just everybody else is wanting to run that bottom lane.
Yeah, and Dave, all these drivers have pointed out of how loose the car is getting in the turn. So these guys are most likely being very cautious while driving to avoid getting loose, because once it gets loose, Dave, at 200 miles an hour, it's most likely not a recovery.
Yeah, it's difficult to save your vehicle here, but we did see the 9 of Aiden Young last night in the Camping World Truck Series here at Talladega. He was able to save that truck in an awesome save. So it's possible, but it is extremely hard.
As right now, the 87 of David Elliott will be challenged by the 39 of Zachary Crazer, who does get around him. The 87 of Elliott does seem to be losing the draft of that lead pack, but he does have someone to the rescue. The 82 of Mike Franklin, nope, he goes up to the outside behind the 39 of Zachary Crazer, while pulling the 13 of Ryan Daniels, and they will leave the 87 of Elliott out to dry. Actually, Elliott is going to be getting some assistance here shortly from some drivers behind. The 13 of Ryan Daniels does fall back in line. No, he just tries to get a run off the 87 of Elliott to try and get around him. But right now, we have the 14 of Bradley behind the 13 of Daniels and the 87 of Elliott, while the 59 of James Thorndike tries to catch up as well. Going back up front, Dave, that outside line has seemed to have come back to life. The 97 of Nate Trito being of assistance to the 06 of Seabrand's third place on the outside, on the 07 of Tyler Sifford as well.
Yeah, they're making a good move there. Looks like Mason Kane almost cleared Alan Elwood, but just not enough. So he is going to stay up there with Rick Seabrand's Nate Trito, Tyler Sifford, and couple other cars there. So that outside line is a move. It's Tyler Sifford makes a move, gets back down on that bottom lane there. He is going to drop Nate Trito that he has been running with most of the night and jump in there behind Michael Knight.
And that does give the 99 of Eric Canex the opportunity to fill that spot that he left vacant. And that 20 of Ethan Kurtz as well, pulling the 39 of Zachary Crazer with him. The 06 of Seabrands does seem to be overheating. He is pushing the leader of the outside at 32 of Mason Kane, but right now still doing an amazing job keeping up the momentum at the same time cooling his motor.
Yeah, they got to keep an eye on that because you can blow an engine real quick. Here at Talladega is taking a look at these speeds. You know, coming through these turns, these cars are inches apart, and they are doing in excess of 195 mile an hour.
Seems as though those packs that were forming for the back in the pack have finally caught up to this lead pack, as right now we have the 82 of Franklin, the 14 of Bradley battling each other, as that 59 of James Thorndike gets a big run on the bottom lane and will be occupying the inside of the 82 of Franklin, and right in front of him is the 22 of Jason Bantley, but he jumps up to be behind the 39 of Crazer.
Well, as we are on lap 49 coming to lap 50. That is going to give us 25 laps to go. Sean, if they keep this up, we are going to see some green flag pit stops, and you know how much I love those green flag pit stops.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. Getting me more excited the more you say green flag pit stops. And you know, these guys will try their best to execute perfect green flag pit stops, and before that, we most likely will see a lot of teammates getting together so they can pit in as a pack and get out as a pack at the same time to try and maintain their momentum and keep the leaders. Right now, Dave, that 32 of Kane does clear the bottom lane, but decides to stay high with the 06 of Rick Seabrands, as the 32 of Kane did lead the outside, or did lead last lap, with the 06 of Seabrands being able to take over the second place position from the 5 of Alan J. Elwood. That 29 of Matthew Welsenbach, Dave, trying his best to keep the 5 of Elwood up there, but so far having no luck because he doesn't have any help.
Yeah, most definitely here, Sean, is if any of these viewers at home that are watching have never tried to get into one of these cars and take their car 195 mile an hour around Talladega, jump down on that apron and get that car slowed down to 60 mile an hour for pit road, it is highly difficult. We see cars spin. It is rough. So as we always said in most of our races, them green flag pit stops will separate the men from the boys.
And Dave, since you mentioned that if we do have green flag pit stops, we are going to try our best to ride with one of the drivers so we can watch them slow it down from 200 plus miles an hour down to 60 miles an hour pit speed, so we can see exactly what it takes and exactly what these guys go through when they try and execute that. As right now, Dave, these guys do seem to be now getting scattered to the outside line, that is in the bottom lane. They were bunched up a couple of laps back, but right now it does seem as though they are letting each other go. Most likely due to the overheating of the 29 of Welsenbach and the 06 of Seabrands. Yeah,
it could also be the fact, Sean, that a lot of these drivers are trying to get to that bottom lane to get set up for green flag pit stops, because they cannot get on the pit road from that middle lane. They have to be down on that bottom lane. So looking here, these guys have about 14 laps since their last pit stop. So I figure they could do about 20 laps. So probably within the next 5 laps, we may start seeing green flag pit stop.
And yeah, I believe the pit window just might be, like you said, 20 to 25. Yeah, so once these guys get into the pit window, they most likely will be going as soon as they can. Oh, we have the 99 gets loose. He gets sideways in the tri-oval. Big wreck in the tri-oval. That does involve the 13 of Daniels. That does involve the 20 of Ethan Kurtz, 22 Justin Banton, and the 39 of Zachary Kraser. Let's focus on the 99 of Eric Knick.
Well, as we go to our Dre broadcast and replay, we are going to focus on the 99. We are going to ride along with him to see exactly what happened here, as he was riding right behind Nate Trito. He did have the 20 machine of Eric Kurtz. Looks like he just broke a little loose. I don't know if there was a little contact between the 20 machine behind him to cause him to get loose, but that is going to cause a big wreck. As you said, Ryan Daniels is going to get a little contact out of that. Didn't look like nothing major, but these guys are going to, well, this should put them in the pit window to be able to make it the rest of the way.
It definitely will, Devin. Holy cow, Devin, focus on one car right now. Heavy damage. You can't even tell that it was a Chevy. That is a 39 of Zachary Kraser right now, just crawling, trying his best to get to pit road, and hopefully he downs with his backup car.
Yeah, that's heavy damage. That is going to slow him down even in the draft. So that is highly unfortunate. He's got damage on all 4 sides of that car. Front, back, left, and right.
And Dev going back up front to 32. Mason Kane does lead everybody down pit road, and everybody will follow. But we do have one driver staying out, and that is the 13 of Daniels. And Ryan Daniels was involved in that incident that caused the caution, but right now he's still going nice and strong. That right front not looking too pretty, but he still wants to lead that lap. And that does give us some time for a race interview. We are going to focus on the 88 of John Hilston. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have one of the main admins here of the Extreme Motorsports Series, the 88 of John Hilson, who is also competing in the chase. Get a copy there, John.
Yeah, I got you.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Trying to stay out of trouble.
Oh, I can only imagine. And John, earlier we did notice you did get involved in one of those incidents that did give you some damage, but it looks a bit that Chevy Camaro is looking very good. You did end up getting that backup car out of that hauler. Well, tell us about your race so far, buddy.
Yeah, like I said, just trying to stay out of trouble, but, you know, less than 20 to go now. It's time to start moving to the front, you know, and hopefully that'll give me a good finish.
Oh, 10-4, nicely said. And John, since you are competing in the chase, this is Talladega, a draft track, so you must have a teammate, anybody who should hope to see you with up front.
We'll hopefully get up there with Nick Hunt and Dylan. They're my other 2 teammates as well. And Mike Franklin, you know, we're all going to try to get to the front.
Oh, copy that, John. And John, we have noticed that a lot of cars are getting very, very loose, and we have talked to a couple of drivers who did say the exact same thing, that these things are very tail happy on the entrance to some turns and on the exit of turn 2 as well. What's your opinion on that, buddy? Is it manageable?
Yeah, it's manageable. You can't come from the high lane into going into turn 3 and try to get to the bottom, because that's where it's kind of snappy loose.
Oh, 10-4, John. Well, John, we are going to let you get back to driver's seat so you can discuss your strategies with your teammates to bring this thing home, as you are competing in the chase for the championship. So good luck to you, buddy, and make us proud.
Thank you, sir.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 88 of John Hilson competing in the chase. Started in 25th and is now in 9th place. And Dave, he did say it's go time. It's less than 20 laps to go. Well, Dave, it's going to be wild.
Yeah, we're going to have less than a 20-lap shootout here for the checkered. I don't know what to say, Sean. I mean, anything could happen in these next 20 laps. But these guys, as you heard John Houston say, it's time to get up to the front. It's time to battle. You can't hold back anymore. You got to make your moves and get up front.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. And, we haven't seen that outside line, that third lane work tonight. Well, we are about to see it. I have a feeling we are about to see it. We have 3 lanes wide throughout the whole entire track, but 4 lanes wide in the Triumph. And I do believe these guys will make use of every single lane possible to try and get that side draft, make holes to get the runs, or to get the runs against their opponents, because this is a very, very strict field. These guys won't lift, they won't pull over to let each other go by. So this will make things very, very interesting. And going for the back in the pack, Dave, we do have some drivers a lap down. We have a 20 of Ethan Kurtz down on pit road. Heavy damage on that Ford Mustang. We have the 4 of Mike Rominger back out into the track. Last time we checked, he was getting some damage fixed, but he is back out there. With the 49 of Nathan Shipler, who was retired, 15 of Christopher Parkman down on pit road, 18 of Jonathan still on pit road, and 73 of Dwayne Carberson, who has retired for the night. As right now, we'll be getting 1 to green once we cross the start-finish line next time by, as we did have one driver get the lucky dog, or get the wave around, the 99 of Eric Canese back on the lead lap.
Well, Sean, I'm taking a look at our race report. We've had 5 cautions tonight. But they did step it up. We've had 19 lead changes so far tonight. But I have a feeling we're going to see seeing a whole lot more as Houston said, they are going to be battling to get up front.
Oh yeah, those guys in the back will be making the outside line work. They will be making holes to try and get to the front, and those guys up front can only do so much, because once their pushes start overheating, that does mean less speed for them and more speed for those guys who have fresh motors coming from the back to get around them, as though they are sitting still. They might be sitting ducks, but right now these guys getting bunched up, just pretty much, Dave, maybe even exercising, making sure those arms and those muscles are tight enough, because it's going to be quite the race from now on.
Yeah, most definitely, Sean, is we're on that completing lap 56 of 74. Hopefully we'll be going back 1 to green, which means we're going to be going back green flag racing here for the first race in the chase for the Extreme Motorsports 99.com NASCAR Xfinity Series.
And speaking of the chase, once again, just a reminder to the drivers who are competing in the chase. We have Alan J. Elwood, Nate Triteau, Christopher Parkman, James Thorndike, John Hilston, Mike Rominger, Mason Kane, Rusty Farrell, Tyler Sifford, Richie Evans, Vern Bradley, and Mike Franklin. And of all these drivers, Alan Elwood has the most wins. He has 3 wins. Nate Triteau, Chris Parkman, James Thorndike, and John Hilston. These 4 drivers have 1 win in the whole entire series, so the competition is very, very stiff. These guys are going to be trying to occupy the same real estate, which will make things very, very interesting, as we can only have 1 winner. These guys are all winners, but unfortunately for the championship, we can only have 1 champion. Right now, these guys are now 1 to green. 32 Mason Kane leading the bottom lane with the help of the 97 of Nate Triteau, 29 of Matthew Welsenbach leading the outside with the help of the 06 of Rick Seabrands.
Yeah, most definitely. It's just, well, Sean, we are going to have a battle here. As you said, we are now under 20 laps to go. These guys know that. Their pit crew knows that. Every driver knows that. The guys in the chase know that. The guys not in the chase know it. But everybody's not going to give up. They just want to come away with that win.
And right now, these guys getting bunched up nice and tight, getting ready to go green. These guys are most likely all shivering, because they know what this thing has in store. They do know that we're going to be seeing, most likely we'll be seeing a lot of steering wheels by the end of tonight's race. Just like you had said, it's going to be quite wild as they do exit turn number 4. This time by, gonna go green. And these guys are getting bunched up more than they were before on previous restarts because they do know it is go time. Oh, Dave, do the honors.
Well, as the pace car dips off on the pit road, the 32 of Mason Kane is going to keep them at pace speed as they are coming through the tri-oval. Looks like Matthew Walzelback is going to get up tight to him, but off goes Kane as Nate Trito just is not able to keep up with him. Neither is the 07 of Tyler Sifford. Is there going to be a little gap there between the front four and the rest of the field?
Oh, and that 29, Matthew Walzelback squeezes in between the 97 of Trito and the 06 of Seabrands. Very risky move, but he made it work. And that did back up the 06 of Seabrands. And right now, Seabrands does have the 07 of Sifford with a big run on him. But Sifford will back it up and just hook up with the 06 of Seabrands to most likely set up those three drivers up front. The 29 Walzelback, the 97 of Trito, and the 32 of Mason Kane. But further back in the pack with the 5 of Alan J. Elwood, 88 John Hilston. He is now up front. He has been riding in the back all night long, but now he's up here. 88 of John Hilston goes to the outside to get on the 5 of Elwood and the 07 of Tyler Sifford trying to use that side draft, but so far no luck. Actually, he's keeping up with the 5 of Elwood, but most likely will lose a little bit of time and speed in the turns, and that does make him clear of the bottom lane as this 06 of Seabrands jumps the outside. Trito jumps up to the outside, but he will be followed by the 32 of Kane. They're going to go wreck it off turn number 2 in the wall. It's going to be a big wreck off turns number 2, and that did involve the 22 of Jason Van, the 97 of Nate Trito did get involved with that, and the 32 of Mason Kane. Let's focus on the 97 of Trito.
Well, as we pull up our blimp view here, we are going to focus on Trito, as it looks like him and Kane came together, spun around, and it looked like everybody else was able to get around him. Looks like Mason Kane is going to get the worst end of that deal, but Trito is definitely going to have some damage.
Yeah, very unfortunate indeed, as right now Trito does try and throw with the Ford Mustang to try and get some service done on that machine because it is go time, and hopefully Nate Trito does have his backup car handy just so he can be able to use it for the final laps that we have of this entire race. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we are going to take our final commercial break of tonight's race so you guys can get your last round of popcorn and refreshments. We'll be right back, so stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sparks Energy 300 for Chase Race number 1, part of the Extreme Motorsports Xfinity Series. Well, once again, just a reminder of the drivers who are competing in the chase. We do have Alan J. Elwood, Nate Rito, Christopher Parkman, James Thorndike, John Hilston, Mike Rominger, Mason Kane, Rusty Farrell, Tyler Sifford, Richie Evans, Vern Bradley, and Mike Franklin. All these 12 drivers I've pointed out are all competing in the chase. Here also for Chase Race number 1, as these guys do have 5 races in the chase, and tonight being the first race here at Talladega Super Speedway, but the next one will be next week for Chase Race number 2, O'Reilly Auto Parts 300 at Texas Motor Speedway. Well, going back to the race right now, being led by the 29 of Matthew Wells and back the 07 of Tyler Sifford, second place. Man, he's come a long way from 17th place to second. 06 of Rick Seabrand still in third place. The 5 of Alan Elwood still being in the top 5 in fourth. And the 88 of John Hilston, last time we checked on him, he was in 9th place, but he's made his way up into the top 5. So Dave won't be getting rid of John Hilston anytime soon.
Oh, no. And then, as you said, we got the 5 of Elwood, Rick Seabrand, Michael Knight, Richie Evans, Mike Franklin. We're going to be seeing a lot of battling here going on, as we are going to have right about 11 laps to go when we go back green flag racing.
It'll be 11 laps to go, and 1 lap after that, we will be 10 to go. So these guys will end up finding 5th gear or even 6th gear, as these guys will be trying to be ahead or as far up ahead as they can, just in case anything happens, so they can be able to most likely be clear of it if it doesn't happen up front like the last one we just had. And because the last wreck we had, we have some drivers who had damage from that. Only 2 drivers actually, 32 Mason Kane and Nate Rito. But Mason Kane was able to get his damage fixed, while the 97 of Nate Rito does have some heavy damage on that machine of his.
Well, this is interesting, Sean. The 29 of Matthew Walzenbach, our race leader, has decided to start on the outside, giving the 07 of Tyler Sifford the inside lane here as the pace car brings them here into turn number 3.
Oh man, yeah, Dave, from experience, the outside line here at Talladega is also my preferred line, because that bottom lane is the one that's getting loose. It's the one where most drivers are getting loose. Why every driver is getting loose. I haven't seen many drivers get loose on the outside, and these guys do have about 10 laps from the last time they last pitted in, so that's most likely why he's doing that. Trying to be safe than sorry if anything were to happen. He has more room to save it up on the high side compared to that bottom lane, as right now they do exit turn number 4. Gonna be going green here with 11 laps to go. The pace car is off. The 07 of Sifford still holding pace speed with the 29 of Matthew Wells, and back the 5 of Alan Elwood behind him, and the 06 of Seabrand's right there. That and the 29 of Welsbach puts it down to the floor. The 5 Alan Elwood right on his rear end. 07 Tyler Sifford trying his best to catch up to them, with the 06 of Seabrand's trying his best to catch up so he can give him some life to get that 07 machine going. But behind him we'll have the 64 of Michael Knight and the 88 of John Hilston battling for the 5th place position.
Yeah, 10 laps to go, Sean. It's time to get up front. It's time to do whatever you can, make whatever move you can. Hopefully, the only thing is if you jump to that outside line, hopefully you got somebody to help you, or you're going to go from hero to zero in a hurry.
And right now that 88 of John Hilson trying to suck up to the 06 of Rick Seabrands, while he has a 64 of Michael Knight sucking up to his back bumper to increase that momentum. That 88 of John Hilson is not gonna give up. He never gives up. Neither do any of these drivers, as right now we have the 2 of Richie Evans as well in the mix behind the 64 of Michael Knight. We have a lot of single files. These guys are trying their best to catch up, and Dave, we have a second pack that has their hammers down to the floor trying to catch those leaders. These guys are abusing those gas pedals.
Yeah, it's going to be led by the 75 of Rusty Farrell. He's got the 87 of David Elliott, Dylan Ackhart, Tommy Amassi, Nick Hunt. And looks like Ryan Daniels is a little further back here, but he is still in contention here, as these guys are now back double file up front.
Oh, caught him in the back. 18 of Elliott, the 31, get involved in that big wreck. And also the 59 of James Thorndike. That will bring out a caution. Let's focus on the 87 of David Elliott on replay.
Well, as we go back here to our replay, we are going to see exactly what happened here. As you said, there was some contact there. Looks like the 87 come up a little bit, made contact with the 37. The 75 of Rusty Farrell goes spinning around like a freaking pinball there, just spinning around and around. But that is going to shake things up. We are going to have a right about a 3-lap shootout here when we go back green flag racing.
Oh, Dave, a lot of unhappy drivers with that right there. There was a battle leading up front. Runner 31 of Dylan Cart is crawling, trying to catch up to the field to go down pit road. And 75 of Rusty Farrell, who had the worst end of that. Like you said, he was spinning like a pinball. He does have a lot of damage, pushing by 136 miles an hour and slowly increasing in speed. Right now trying to go down pit road. Hopefully, Dave, these guys do have their backup cars.
Yeah, hopefully they do, as we are going to see all the leaders stay out. They are not going to pit. All the leaders are going to stay out. As you said, we are being led by the 29 of Matthew Walzenbach, the 5 of Alan Elwood running second, Tyler Sifford third, John Houston fourth, and Rick Seabrands rounding out your top 5.
And that does give us some time to get a race interview in. We are going to focus on the 00 of Nick Hunt. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have the 00 of Nick Hunt up here. That's good to go up there, Nick.
Howdy, howdy.
Good tonight, buddy.
Yeah, we're kind of a rough race, isn't it?
Yeah, I can only imagine what you're going through, Nick. Yeah, we have noticed that you were involved in a couple of incidents there, but you were still able to hang on to it and have maintained that draft, maintain a very good pace with the whole entire field. But Nick, tell us how your race is going so far, buddy.
Well, it's going just as we planned. We've been hanging back in the back and just trying to dodge all the accidents, and now it's time to try to get what we can.
Oh, 10-4, Nick. And Nick, from what you've seen so far, from the handling of the car to the drivers around you, do you think you have what it takes to bring this thing home, or at least gain a few spots?
Yeah, I think so. I think some of these guys are making a mistake of taking 2 tires, and it's getting loose on some of these corners. So I think we can work our way up there if we get the right run.
Oh, 10-4, buddy. Well, Nick, just want to check in with you, but we do wish you the best of luck. Keep the hammer down to the floor and make us proud as usual.
Well, we're going to do the best we can.
Good luck to you, buddy.
I appreciate it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 00 of Nick Hunt, currently being shown in 10th place, but starting in 28th place. As right now we are 2 to green, still behind the pace, so the lights are still on. That does still give us some time for another interview. We are going to interview the 07 of Tyler Sifford. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have the 07 of Tyler Sifford up here. Let's get up there, Tyler.
How's it going?
Good on, how are you?
Doing good. Nervous, but doing good.
Oh, I can only imagine, Tyler. It's going to be very, very wild finish here until the end. It's going to be, you guys will have less than 5 laps to go once we go green. But how's everything going so far, buddy?
Everything's going great. Talladega isn't my, cup of tea. It's a big chess match, and I hate playing chess. It's, the matter of who to go with, who do you think can go with you at the time that you want to poke high or try and make a move, and it's going to be nerve-wracking for the for the last 5 or 4 laps.
Oh, 10-4 definitely will. And Tyler, from what you've been seeing so far with the cars handling to the competition out there, what do you think is your best strategy against these guys? Or what do you think is your best move against them?
The best move is so far, I need to have a dancing partner try and help you out. I know for my plan at least, it's to try and wait. If I'm second, my next best is to wait until the middle of the trioval and try and do something, because it's so easy to be left out and just be pushed back. So it's going to be, any move that anyone's going to make is going to be a last second move to try and squeak out the win.
Oh, copy that, Tyler. And Tyler, we do have your mom in the chat cheering you on. She said, "Tell my boy, love you, mean it."
Oh, I mean, I've had a few friends, telling me that she's been active in the chat, in which I want to say, "Hi, Mom. Going to try and get the win and hopefully get some milk and cookies for everyone." But Talladega seems to be my best track for a chance to win, since everyone is so fast here and everyone's so equal. So it's part of trying to find that one person that you can stick with and hopefully squeak out a win.
Well, with that said, Tyler, we will let you get back to the driver's seat. You are now back to 1 to green. So keep doing exactly what you've been doing and make us proud. But most importantly, make your mom proud.
Oh, I will, no doubt.
Good luck to you, buddy.
Thank you.
Well, Sean, we are now coming into turn 3, coming to lap 70, 5-lap shootout for the checkered flag, for the first race of the chase, for the Extreme Motorsports 99.com NASCAR Xfinity Series, as we are being led by the 29 of Matthew Walzenbach, who once again chooses the outside. Alan Elwood on the inside with Tyler Sifford behind him. John Houston up behind Matthew Walzenbach as they are now exiting turn number 4. The pace car getting ready to make that dip down. These guys are keeping pace speed, tightening up the bunch. They are ready to go back. 5 laps to go as the pace car now dips on the pit road. Looks like Walzenbach is going to keep them at pace speed as they are now entering the trioval. Sifford sucks up to the rear end there of Elwood. Houston to the back end of Walzenbach as Walzenbach gets on that throttle, as it looks like Houston slept a little, but Sifford is all over the 5 of Elwood, as it now looks like John Houston is going to be left on that outside all by himself. We got 5 laps to go. This is going to get exciting.
And that 06 of Rick Seabrands trying his best to catch up to that lead pack up there, but right now trying to get the 64 of Michael Nice to hook up with him to increase that speed, increase that momentum to better their chances of catching up and getting around those guys up there. And right now the 14 of Bradley, the 82 of Mike Franklin, the 00 of Nick Hunt, these guys just riding single file in this line, trying to set the other guys up.
Well, it looks like John Houston is going to jump down in front of Seabrands. That is going to help him suck up, as these guys are single file here. We are coming up on lap 71. Houston once again back to the outside with the help of the 06 of Seabrands, as it looks like Sifford is thinking about moving up. He does. Oh no, Houston closes that door. Sifford is not able to get up, as here comes Houston and Seabrands on the outside.
06 of Seabrands did back off to avoid getting in trouble, causing trouble, and right now trying his best to make up the time lost on the 88 of John Hilston. Right now the bottom lane is the place to be. No one seems to be wanting to make the outside line work, but the 06 of Seabrands going to be assisting the 88 of John Hilston to get that outside line bunched up. It is go time. We have the 64 of Michael Knight on the outside line. We have some drivers hard into the wall. That was the 06 of Rick Seabrands, who got sideways and was able to hang on to it. He stays high to let everybody go by.
Well, here comes the 14 of Vern Bradley. Sifford moves up in front of him. He's got the 88 of John Houston helping. They have a 3-car push on the outside as we are now getting ready to come up. We now have 3 laps to go here as we are double file, 3 cars deep. Here battling for the win with Sifford leading the outside with Vern Bradley and John Houston. Here comes Michael Knight sucking up to the back end there of John Houston, trying to make it a 4-car push.
And that 88 of John Houston right now just currently keeping a gap in between him and the 14 of Vern Bradley, most likely trying to think of a strategy in mind to get around these guys and try and set these guys up, or at least fake the 14 of Bradley to get out of the way so he can hook up with the 07 of Sifford so he can get around him. Once this thing comes to the white flag, as right now the 29 of Welsbach riding that middle lane to try and block the outside or try and side draft outside line. But right now, no luck so far. The 07 of Sifford clears the bottom lane. The 14 of Bradley, who goes high, and the 14 of John Houston will take over, start pushing.
Yep, as Sifford moves to that bottom line in front of Walzenbach. They still have that 4-car push. Walzenbach gets to the back door of Sifford. He is pushing. They got the 5 machine of Elwood. They've got Franklin there as well, so they got help on that bottom lane as we are now 2 laps to go as these guys get a little squirrely here on that outside as contact is made. Oh boy, that is going to send 3 cars down into the thing, but we are going to stay green flag racing. There goes Walzenbach. There goes Vern Bradley. As they are down below the apron, here comes back Elwood trying to get back on the track. That is going to leave Sifford. That is going to bring the caution. Sifford is going to win the race.
Oh man! And Dave, what looks like what caused the caution was the contact between or among the 00 of Nick Hunt, the 82 of Franklin, and the 64 of Michael Knight. So if we can, let's go back and take a look at that. While focusing on the 00 of Hunt.
Well, as we go back, we are going to take a look, follow along in our blimp view to try to get the best shot we can, following that 00 of Nick Hunt as they go down to that inside wall there, as they spin back out onto the track. That is going to cause that caution. Oh boy, but that is going to give that win to Tyler Sifford as we are about, wow, what a finish to that race. Unfortunately, it is going to end under yellow, but that was exciting.
Oh man, that was very, very exciting indeed. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of happy drivers out there, but man, that 07 of Tyler Sifford did gain that fair and square. That was quite the battle. And the 88 of John Houston starting 25th and found his way all the way up into second place. Quite an amazing job. And also the 9 of Aiden Young in third place. And these 3 drivers, the top 3 drivers, Sifford, Houston, and Young, all these drivers are competing in the chase. So Dave, that was perfect.
Well, it looks like everybody on the chat is saying free cookies and milk for everyone, because that means Becky Sifford is going to have to make cookies and milk for everybody now, because her boy has won the first chase race as he is now coming to the checkered flag here at Talladega in the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Xfinity Series. He is going to take the first chase race here at Talladega.
Well, Dave, while we're at it, let's ride with the 07 of Tyler Sifford for his victory lap. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to interview the top 3 finishers. Oh, actually, we have that just changed. The 29 of Welsbach finished in second place, and the 14 of Vern Bradley finished in third place. As we focus on the 07 of Tyler Sifford as he burns the sucker down. Please, blind us.
Say it again, I didn't get a copy.
Oh, saying please blind us, by all means. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the '07 of Tyler Sifford up here for the second time, bringing this thing home after starting in 17th place. Got a cop there, bud?
Yes, sir.
Well, Tyler, when we talked to you, you talked about your strategy and how you're just gonna try and set these guys up and bring this thing home, and that's exactly what you did. You did bring this thing home. Well, Tyler, you are competing in the chase as well. So what has contributed to your success, buddy?
It took, as long as I've been racing here, it took, I thought I was going to win at least one race last season, and kind of misinformed about, the competition, like, okay, thought I can at least squeak one win last season, and didn't have. I'm like, okay, I got to, go back to the drawing board, and this, this season was exactly the same. It's like, okay, I don't have speed like I should. Something should be, I need to do something different. And come the chase time, I made a decision. I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive than what I have been all season. Thought, maybe that's it. I'm not being aggressive enough. I'm glad for the first race of me being aggressive, it came out with a win. So, just real happy that I finally got a win. My voice wouldn't show it because I just want to try and contain it as much as I can, hoping this isn't a dream. I don't want to wake up and think, oh, I didn't win, and still, but. Really happy I did it. Mom, we finally got
it. 10-4, Tyler. And also want to congratulate you on that, having your first win here for the during chase race number 1, which you are a part of. And we do look forward to seeing those cookies. And just for the record, I do like chocolate chip. And actually next week, Tyler will be racing at Texas Motor Speedway. Should we expect to see the exact same momentum shift to that track?
I hope so. It's it's a different package, but it's definitely a big motivation, pickup, knowing that I can do this here with this car. They're relatively the same, other than just the draft package a little bit different, but I think I can do it. I have to have great teammates by my side that we can all work together and hope we can all get a great finish out of it. But as right now, I'm just gonna live in the moment and enjoy this win before I think about winning tomorrow.
Well, once again, Tyler, we do want to congratulate you on your win tonight's race. And before you go, but any final words?
I just want to thank the league owners, Rick. He's done so good with this league. It's always fun week in and week out. There's always competition, and he's always looking to bring in more competition and make it more difficult for different guys. And it's this league is I want to say one of the best on iRacing because everyone's kind of like a family. We all know each other. We all, just race each other to have fun, and just want to also thank Mom. She started the whole milk and cookies thing, and it's been a year-long drought of this happening. And one last thank you to Jake, Nate, Ethan, and Dwayne. I know they didn't. Jake's the owner of Solar Flare. I know the other 3 didn't have a good night as well, but glad that I can at least bring it home for them, and at least we have a trophy in the shop.
Well, once again, Tyler, congratulations on your win tonight. Congratulations on your success throughout the entire season, and also being a contender or a competitor here in the chase. And we do look forward to seeing you again next week at Texas. Have a good night, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. You have a good one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 07 of Tyler Sifford, but right behind him was the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach. Got a call up there, Matt?
Hey, how's it going, sir?
How are you?
Hey, not too bad. Had a good night. Came home second.
Oh man, you started on the pole in first place and ended up coming out in second place after a hard-fought battle. And Matt, that track was not your friend tonight. And by the track, I mean the track itself and the drivers on the track. You guys were just competing and battling ever since the drop of the green flag. What tell us about your experience tonight, buddy?
Well, starting on the pole, I swept both poles for plate races this year here in the Xfinity Series. So had a great start. Got past on lap 1 because just didn't have the push behind me. And then got involved in that first accident. Decided to just go right at the back for a little bit with some of my teammates. Ryan Daniels, Zach Kreiser, Nathan Shiflett, Aiden Young. We all kind of had a plan tonight. Put it together. And then I was clean the entire rest of the race, which is pretty awesome. I went 62 laps, I think, without any, issues, which, hey, I consider that a win. And then being up there, leading at the front at the end after that big accident where I just squeaked by, had a shot. Alan Elwood was giving me a hell of a push there. And I got to thank him big time for that. Him and I kind of worked out a thing to hopefully take it 1-2, and Tyler got a great run in front of me, came down, and good job to Tyler for that win.
Well, Matt, we are glad that you were able to keep your car, your nose clean for so long, despite putting on a hard battle and banging doors with a bunch of those drivers out there. And so far, looking at your stats, you do have 2 top 10s in this series. And Matt, next week we will be racing at Texas Motor Speed. What should we expect from you there, buddy?
I don't know. Plate racing is really kind of my forte. That, and I like Chicagoland Auto Club. Texas, we're just going to wait and see. Hopefully you have a nice clean race. I'm not running for the chase, so I'm just running, I think, for that top non-chase spot. I know we're doing hopefully something for that. So we're just going to wait and see. I'm really liking this 29 Jaeger Racing Chevrolet, and hopefully coming with a win or a top 5 next week.
10-4, Matt. Well, Matt, once again, congratulations on your second place finish. And before we let you go, any final words, buddy?
Guys, thanks. Your broadcasts are great. You guys do a bunch of broadcasting for some other things I run in, so you guys always do a great, fantastic job. And I'm finally happy to get interviewed. I've been so close, so I'm, just happy with that. I would have liked the win, but I'm happy to be up here in the booth.
Well, it's very, very good to have you. We are very, very glad to have you as well, Martin. We once again do thank you for the kind words and congratulations on your second place finish, and see you next week at Texas.
Thank you, guys, and also Rick Donovan, thank you for putting on this league. I've been here since day one. Love it. Bye.
Have a good night, buddy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach, but third in line we have a driver who also is competing in the chase, the 14 of Vern Bradley. Got a copy there, Vern?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, Vern, you have been an amazing driver throughout the entire season. You are an amazing driver overall. You started in 15th place tonight and ended up finishing in 3rd place. And looking at your stats, you have 3 top 5s and 5 top 10s, and that is a very, very good resume here on the in the iRacing world, or here at the Extreme Motorsports series, with such a very, very strict field. Well, Vern, what contributed to your success? Because not everybody can compete in the chase.
It's patience. I mean, you have to save your car, and you got to have a car at the end that can get up there and be competitive for wins.
Oh, 10 for that is very, very nicely said. And tonight, what was your strategy that actually worked out and was able to keep you ahead of all those wrecks?
It was just avoiding wrecks all night, and I can't thank my team enough. John Houston, the 88, Nick Hunt in the 00. Mike Franklin in the 82, Dylan Ackert in the 31, and Rick Donovan in the 18. Those guys looked out for me all night, and we almost got us one. In fact, I think the 07 owes me some cookies.
10 for Vern. Well, Vern, once again, I want to congratulate you on your top 3 finish, and we do look forward to seeing you again next week at Texas. And before we let you go, any final words, buddy?
Yeah, I like the other guys. I want to thank Rick and every admin at Extreme Motorsports 99. I think everyone does a great job, and there's no place I'd rather race than this. This is awesome, and this is what it's all about.
Well, once again, Vern, congratulations on your 3rd place finish, and we do look forward to seeing you next week at Texas.
Thank you, guys.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 14 of Vern Bradley, but last in line is the 5 of Alan J. Elwood, who has the most wins this season, with having 3 wins and finishing in 4th place tonight. Get a cup there, Alan?
Yeah, I got you, Sean.
Well, Alan, you had an amazing race tonight. We did get a chance to talk to you in the beginning of the race. And looking at your stats right now, you do have 5 top 5s and 5 top 10s. Very, very good resume. Very, very excellent resume, despite having a very, very strict field out there. And you were still able to bring it home in 4th place after starting in 2nd place. And Alan, what's your secret to being successful?
You got to hit your marks. Tonight's one of those races, along with Daytona, that kind of, I guess, like I was talking about earlier, luck's got to play into a factor, putting yourself in a good position, and hoping that wrecks don't happen around you that may end your night. So, I thought I might be able to bring it home at the end of the night. It was looking pretty good, and Matt and I were trying to work together, but it was one of those races that didn't work out. So not a big deal. We'll take 4th place and move on to some really good tracks for myself and the team, and see if we can close this thing out.
Oh, copy that, Alan. With that said, what's the expectation for you, or what should be our expectation for next week, buddy, at Texas?
Texas is one of those tracks that seems to be really good for me. So I'm hoping to be the first person to talk to you guys next week. We're going to try and put it in victory lane, but again, it's just all about putting yourself in the right place. So if I play my cards right, then hopefully I'll be the first one across the line.
Well, that is a very, very good goal right there, Alan. You are an amazing driver, and your success has really brought you a lot. Well, your hard driving has really made you successful and brought you a long way, locking you in the chase, and also being able to have very, very good stats: 5 top 5s and 5 top 10s, and tonight kicking some butt out there and being able to keep all those opponents behind you who were hungry for that position of yours, but you were still able to keep them right there. Oh, before I let you go, but in final words.
Again, as everyone else has said, thanks to Rick and Matt and everybody here at Extreme that puts on the show. This chase is going to be down to the wire, I think. So looking forward to that. You guys putting on the broadcast. I think we're putting on some pretty good racing for the fans that tune in every week. So happy about that. And like I said, we'll take the 4th and we'll move on to Texas.
Well, congratulations to you, buddy. And once again, thank you for the kind words, and look forward to seeing you again next week at Texas. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys. You too.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 5 of Alan J. Elwood finishing in 4th place, and that does round up all the interviews. We interviewed 3 drivers who are in the chase and 1 driver from the top 3 from tonight's race. 07 Tyler Sifford, Matthew Rosenbach, Vern Bradley, and the 5 of Alan J. Elwood. Well, Dave, it was an amazing race. Those last laps kept me on my toes. I mean, I was kept on my toes on the edge of my seat all night long. It had been a battlefield race ever since the drop of the first green flag, and these guys just kept giving it their all. Anything you would like to say, Dave?
Yeah, most definitely. These guys put on one heck of a show. That last few laps shootout, I mean, it was just exciting. And I think I almost lost my voice in the broadcast, getting the pleasure of calling it. It was just a great race. These drivers always give it their all, week in, week out. As they said, Rick Donathan with ExtremeMotorsports99.com. It's a great league. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a fun league, they have 5 different series for you to race. You can race the Road Series with the Rick Motec Sports Cars Series that's brought to you live by Apex. You have the K&N Series. You have the you've got the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series that we bring. And then also there's OSR Network. Check them out on YouTube as they bring the Cup Series, the Monster Energy Cup Series, also by Extreme Motorsports. Definitely, if you haven't checked them out, check them out on YouTube. Go and give them a subscription, subscribe to them, give them a like. Great bunch of guys with Joe, Ryan, John. They all do put on a great broadcast as well, so definitely check them out. Check out the other Xfinity races, and once again, if you're interested in joining the league, go to ExtremeMotorsports99.com. That's starts with the X, drop the first E. Once again, that's ExtremeMotorsports99.com.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight for the Sparks Energy 300 Chase Race number 1, part of the Extreme Motorsports Xfinity Series. But next week, we'll be having Chase Race number 2, entitled O'Reilly Auto Parts 300 at Texas Motor Speedway, which is not a draft track, so it's going to give the it's going to pretty much leave it in the hands of the drivers more than it does in the draft. Like it did here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. And the next broadcast will be on Friday night, the Travis and Tiffany Zuiderman National Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Race with loose lug nuts at Milwaukee with the super late models. I am Sean Zulu, and Dave Evel behind the cameras and being my co-commentator tonight, and have a good night. Thanks for watching.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Drivers, start your reading. Motor Sim Racing Magazine is the first and only magazine dedicated to sim racing. Every month we'll be covering the hot topics around the world of sim racing. So if you're looking to be in the know, go to www.motorsimsracing.com. You will find articles from your favorite drivers, leagues, and other prominent people in the sim racing community. Want an update of your favorite league? We got it. Want to learn the basics on finding a perfect league for you? We got it. Want to know more about how leagues are run? We got it. So remember, when you want to know what's going on in the sim racing world, go to www.motorsimracing.com.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.